Joe Goldberg is back, and he hasn't changed one bit. You know the drill by now. We'll be explaining everything you need to know about the ending of You Season 3, so go and make sure you're all caught up before you continue watching. The very final scene of Season 3 teases Joe's next steps, but before we dig into that, we need to rewind and take a look at how he got here, starting with his new and unfamiliar environment, suburbia. Which, as we well know, is Joe's idea of hell.
We're in this fake plastic suburban hell.
We moved here for the baby.
2 extra things come with his personal nightmare in the aspirational neighbourhood of Madre Linda: his wife, Love Quinn Goldberg, and his newborn son, Henry, also known as 40 after Love's deceased twin, much to Joe's annoyance.
Welcome home, 40.
Maybe we can use his real name.
New parenthood may be exhausting for Madre Linda's new murderous couple, but Joe still finds the time to develop a new obsession with their attractive and flirtatious neighbour, Natalie.
You're nervous. Got some kind of checkered past you're trying to hide?
While some habits die hard, suburban Joe, it seems, is not as prone to murder as Joe in New York and Joe in LA, aka the Joes of previous seasons. In fact, he doesn't kill anyone until the last episode but one. More on that later. The same, however, can't be said of his wife. As a result, suburban Joe spends most of this season covering up his wife's murders and misdeeds. Love starts with murdering Natalie, shortly after finding a box full of Natalie-related trinkets collected by Joe. She later attacks mild-mannered local geology professor Gil when he admits his unvaccinated children gave Henry/40 the measles. When he kills himself in the now infamous cage after she and Joe dig up dirt on his son, they pin Natalie's murder on him, successfully throwing Madre Linda's nosy neighbours off their scent, as well as, crucially, the police. All that is undone when, during a swinging party gone awry, Love lets Natalie's murder slip within earshot of Madre Linda power couple Sherry and Carrie.
I killed Natalie for you!
Shut up.
In the box they go, where they are briefly discovered by Natalie's stepson Theo, a lovesick teenager fixated on Love, who has been more than happy to encourage that attraction. Despite seeming to care about him, she attacks him to protect her secret, leaving him for Joe to deal with. So it is safe to say Love Quinn Goldberg is more than a match for Joe. And with a murderous wife, any obsession of Joe's is faced with a double threat: being stalked by him or killed by Love.
I think we need to go to couples therapy.
Enter Marianne, Joe's boss at the local library. Their relationship is initially frosty, but thaws over the course of the season as the two get closer. We learn she is a divorced single mother and a former addict. Part of the reason Joe fixates on her so much is because he believes they have shared similar struggles in life. And with that, he has a new target. Aside from the homicidal wife, there is another man standing in the way of what Joe wants. Local reporter Ryan is Marianne's ex-husband, gaming the system to prevent her from getting full custody of her daughter. Marianne makes it clear that any relationship between the two of them cannot happen, because he would use her being with a married man as a reason to withhold her daughter. And this is where Joe decides it's time to kill. Not for Love, not for his son, but for Marianne.
That's for her.
With Ryan out of the way, he decides it's time to ask Love for a divorce so he can run away with Marianne and Juliet. But Love isn't going to let him leave that easily. And it turns out she too has form in the whole killing romantic partners area. Remember her deceased husband in season 2? The official story was he died of cancer, but Love confesses that the truth is much more sinister.
I did kill him, but I didn't mean to. It was my first time using it, and the dosage was too high when ingested.
What dosage was too high?
Aconite.
You wanted to paralyze him.
You don't have to worry. This time I'm letting it absorb through the skin.
Oh, no. No.
Paralysing Joe with aconite farmed from a wolfsbane plant she's been tending in the garden all season, Love plots to kill her rival, Marianne.
When he's obsessed with someone, he'll do anything for them. I should know. He was obsessed with me until he met you.
But she has a change of heart after seeing Juliet. And it's here it seems Joe's time is up.
I'm not the problem. My husband is the problem.
Unfortunately for Love, Joe has been one step ahead of her the whole time. He injects her with his own lethal dosage of aconite, admitting he knew she would attempt something like this, taking some adrenaline tablets to fend off the effects of the poison. Love dies, still insisting the two are a match made in heaven.
We're perfect for each other.
And, well, she's probably not wrong. Thanks to his staging of the scene, everyone believes Joe is dead at Love's hands. He cuts off his own toes, leaving one baked in a pie at the charred remains of his family home. All of the attacks and murders around Madre Linda, including that of reporter Ryan, are pinned on her, leaving Joe free and clear. Sherry and Carrie survive the cage by finding the spare key inside and make a killing out of their experience. Theo too survives when Joe decides to take him to a hospital instead of killing him and clearing up Love's mess. And little Henry is given a new home with Joe's library colleague, Dante. So where has Joe gone next? He can't return to New York or LA, two places filled with his skeletons and where people would likely recognize him. So a new country and city it is. As that skyline makes clear, Joe ends season 3 in Paris. Why Paris? Well, if you remember earlier in the season, Marianne tells Joe she grew up there and dreams of taking Juliet there away from Ryan and away from Madre Linda.
I was born in Paris.
Once again, Joe Goldberg follows a woman to a brand new city with a brand new name and identity. Will he find Marianne? Well, that's a question for another time. What did you make of the newest season of You? Let us know in the comments, and for more breakdowns of your favourite Netflix shows, make sure you subscribe to the channel.